All right, let's get more details now. We are joined by IPID spokesperson Lizzy Suping. She joins us now virtually. Thank you very much for your time, Ms. Suping, here on eNCA. Just in terms of the details, first of all, around the assault of the Nigerian national, your investigations, how did they bring you to these particular officers?
What happened is a case was opened. So in terms of the IPID Act, whenever there's a transgression committed or done by the police officers, they have to report their own to IPID. But on the other hand, the victim also did open a case with IPID, and that's the reason why we got to know about the incident.
And these police officers, first of all, how did this particular man end up in their hands? Do you know?
The information we have at our disposal is that the victim and his friends were approached by the officers who demanded to see their identity documentation. And when he could not produce the required documentation, he was taken to the police station where he was assaulted and tortured by the police officers. And then afterwards, he was then taken to hospital for medical attention, where he was in a coma for 9 days. And that's the information we have at our disposal. And this morning, they were arrested by IPID officers, and they will appear before court tomorrow, the Boksburg Magistrate Court. And it's their first appearance where the processes around the case and the date for setting the date, or to set up a date for their bail hearing will take place tomorrow, which is the 2nd of February.
So basically what you're saying is that this... Apologies for that.
Okay, I wanted to say they face charges of assault, GBH, but also defeating the ends of justice.
And by defeating the ends of justice, that's what I was coming to, because usually when someone is arrested, they are booked in at a police station. But from what you're saying, it sounds like this man was approached in the street or somewhere in public, and he never even made it to the police station to start with, whether in holding cells for committing any crime or allegedly committing any crime, right? So how did IPID get to know that it's these particular police officers who were involved in the assault? Is it because the victim identified them? How did you know that it would be these particular police officers?
Like I said earlier on, he was taken into the police station where he was assaulted. But also, because a case was opened, the police officers have to report their own to IPID whenever there's a transgression. That process was done, but also the victim himself also approached IPID and registered a case with us. But defeating the ends of justice, remember this, according to the information we have, he was tortured and assaulted. He was kept in there, even when he was in pain or when he needed attention. He was taken to a hospital later after the assault and the torturing.
All right. So let's talk a little bit about the other 2 police officers who have been arrested in relation to copper theft. How did you come to arrest them?
Normally, we get information from the public, we get tip-offs from the public, but also whenever a case is opened with IPID, the police have to approach us and report that case, and we have to take over from them. Because in terms of our mandate, we have to investigate certain transgressions. And so we were made aware of the incidents, and hence we had to come in and investigate.
All right. So what will they be charged with? Just theft or also defeating the ends of justice?
It's theft and defeating the ends of justice.
And their court appearance, is it also tomorrow?
All the officials will appear before court tomorrow.
What has been the response, if at all, from the station manager or some of their colleagues that had to also be part of probably witnesses? Because you say that the police themselves are supposed to report their colleagues when their colleagues have done wrong, right? So I'm assuming you got a report from somebody who witnessed the assault, and that person is probably a police officer before you got, the report from the victim or the Nigerian consulate. So what did the police say in terms of what their colleagues have now been accused of?
The investigation is still ongoing. We cannot release the details of the investigation at this point in time. However, a case was opened, And when a case is opened, the docket has to be referred to IPID. We also worked with the station commander because these officers were arrested at their place of work. So there was that engagement with the station commander to ensure that we were able to arrest the officers.
All right. Well, I guess we'll be able to get more information from you as the case continues. Thank you very much for speaking to us, Lizzy Suping. She is IPID spokesperson.